During the next several moments, you will hear me being an actor, and I will hear you engaged as it relates. And you could be an actor too. If you know me and I know you, if you're someone that I've known you, then we can both act together for a better resolution to what I think is a great discombobulation, also known as confusion. So, as it relates to pride, it used to be gay pride. Gay pride went away. It wherever it went, well, you can look at it because the interweb is forever, or at least you can look up Pink Triangle Press. Yeah, and you know who they are. They started Squirt, and that's okay because you know what? Guess what? Squirt's something that like propels a fluid, so it's like my engine, and it's got an internal combustion engine. So the gay men against the feminine sort of women that are men that are not women, and they're not gay men. And I was told once at the time when it was called Gay Pride, and they took the gay out of it, and then we got the TV Bank of Canada that owned the Green Chair, which used to be Canada Trust. They got absorbed, and then we lost HSBC. We didn't lose it. Royal Bank of Canada bought it. And then you got your BMOs and your Beamers. What is a Beamer? What's a BMO? Banque de Montréal. Ouh, sing ya, taisez-vous les autres. Une grande bouche maintenant. Michael, row your boat ashore. Hallelujah. So anyways, this is what it's for. I'm standing up to an overly aggressive, and I don't believe it when they say there's a Holocaust of transsexuals getting murdered on the streets in all over the world, especially Canada and like Australia and England and United States. There is no transsexual Holocaust because they're so aggressive. I owned 3 clothing stores, and I still have my hand in the retail business and the dessert store, and we always made the very best Rice Krispie Squares and butter tarts. And then in these new days, the one that used to be the other one could be, okay, now the woman is the man. Okay, so I'm raging on my testosterone. I just got my tits cut off. And I said, welcome to the store. And she says, Ugh. And I thought it was a woman or a man. I was confused. Maybe it was too, because it did the surgery to get its body, because it was trapped in the wrong one. Because everyone knows Mother Nature is a loser. Like Mother Nature, the woman that controls the planet, not really, that is a participant in the planet with the father. So we got your Mother Nature and your Father Time, and we're being told that Father Time and Mother Nature has fucked up the entire planet by somebody that dropped out of the Tavistock Institute while spreading delicious lies about mandatory vaccination. There's a new vaccination taking over. If the new Mother Nature was flawed, all time had nothing to do with it. You didn't either, nor did I. So go away, leave me alone. That's what I want. And I have a keyboard here, and I'm going to get a new piano. It's going to be a very nice one. It's an upright grand. I believe it's not oak. It isn't. Elm. It's an Elmwood one, and the harp is wood, and the strings are firm, and it's in bubble shrink wrap in a safe storage container in and around where a lady named Shelley lives, who was married to Jeff. And her hair is violet red or something. What is it again, Shelley? I remember dyeing your shoes sort of like a sort of a purplish blue. What's that color? It's the color of a flower. You know, it isn't a chrysanthemum. How's your mom? I remember meeting her, in the small kitchen area, and Fred had the toolbox out there in that area, and there she was, and I arrived late, and she says towards me, your mother, I think her name is Lori. Ooh, maybe I'm losing my marbles. I need plunkers. And Lori says towards me, that was your mom. You look great. And I said, I look good on the outside, but I'm dying on the inside. And then she got the COPD, or like breathing or emphysema. one of those things came into her life. It's because she wasn't eating enough cabbage and walnuts. And you told me that walnuts tasted like dirt. And you saw me doing the artwork on the grass in front of the house when we were upstairs and you were on the main floor, and there was Becky under, or the other person, and then Becky beside us. She was heavy, and you were doing kinesiology in your sort of like Harvest Gold Toyota with a cassette player in it. And then your boyfriend of the time, Abney of the Fredsticles, and I hope Dennis is okay. So Fred goes like, ooh, Johnny's doing Rambo time. I sure did. I admired Rambo almost as much as I admire Celine Dion, Patty Hearst, Barbara Streisand, and your mother. Because she was a little larger than you at that time. And Fred's toolbox was over there, and then if you walked into the living room, this is after you moved out of Vic's house, and there was a stairs. There was probably 48 of them, or quite a few anyways, 33 or maybe 22 or something like that. Like a lot of stairs. My God. And I remember you having your, wait, let me think. Oh my goodness. Am I running out of the lip? Do you think that I've had marijuana? I did. I hardly ever do it. I really don't anymore. But today I did it, and I've done it twice. In the last 23 minutes, I've had a little puff of two of the ones, and it says it's called Watermelon Squirt Land Acknowledgement Peace Pipes. Why is it that everyone's a colonial if they don't come from an Aboriginal stock? And I have nothing against my Aboriginal Indians. I always thought when I was in below kindergarten and then grade 1 to grade 7 or 8, then I grew up and then through high school, the hottest people I ever met were some of the Aboriginal. Like, those tribes there, they always fought each other. They liked to fight each other. And some of them were nomadic. So, for example, you can get an Iroquois against a Zhuizhui, or a Squamish one against a Mohican, which is a fabulous hairdo. See, and there was quite a bunch of them all over here in the area that got colonialized. But they were always warring with each other. So they were fighting each other for supremacy. This is why some places had more salmon on the coastlines and in the interior, like a lake called Buffalo Pound, where they herded the bisons off of the thing where the valley was, and then they fell down, and then they owned that. And then if the other ones that were closer to the Canadian eastern side and American north and eastern side, because if you're in Canada, above that we are actually the south and east side. See, I thought looked at clouds from both sides now. So then they were pounding up the buffaloes, and then each of the tribes had its specialty, and they struggled for dominance. So apparently people from England that were struggling for dominance weren't doing anything wrong, because those that were already here, the before people, which probably came across the Bering Strait, which is why it slightly resembles that they look slightly towards we used to say Oriental, which is now racist, and we could have said no, that would be another part of the earth, and I could have said Mongolian, and a person from Mongolian is a what, and that's racist, but it's not, it's scientific. And what is the Allosaurus? It's not as big as a brontosaur. Now I'm on to dinosaurs, and I did like her talk show, but you know who I like better there as it relates to a talk show? Sally Jesse Raphael, and the guy with the smarmy mouth, what was his name? Merv Griffin. Vanna White and Pat Sajak. Bye.